everyone, and welcome to SyncApps Walkthrough Wednesday series for this week, which will be focusing or showcasing how Salesforce Lightning Experience works with SyncApps. So I'm Joanna, and thank you all for coming to this week's webinar, and I welcome you to another thorough and very informative webinar with, of course, Redpath, one of our top 10 Salesforce consultants with us for today. So,
hi there.
Yes, hi Stephanie.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
Absolutely. So, for today, what we'll be working through is, of course, firstly, I'll be showcasing what Redpath Consulting Group is all about. And next, I'll be handing over the screen to Stephanie, our guest speaker for today, and she'll talk about SyncApps and the Salesforce Lightning Experience. And of course, I'm also going to be talking about how to integrate your Salesforce CRM via SyncApps. Lastly, I'll also be showcasing all of the supported Salesforce editions for your integration. And on the last part of the program, we will have a question and answer portion. But if you need to ask any questions during the entirety of the program, you can always ask us through the chat box, and our support team will be happy to help you out. So firstly, Redpath Consulting Group is a full-service certified Salesforce consulting, and they're also one of Salesforce Silver Partners. They offer a wide variety of services such as CRM, marketing automation, and strategies for your small to enterprise businesses. So now I'm going to hand over the screen to Stephanie, who is our certified Salesforce consultant from Redpath Consulting Group.
Great. Let's see.
Okay, let me just quickly share your screen here. Okay, there we go.
All right, and I'm sharing my screen, and I have that same bit of the presentation up, so I'll just do that from my end.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick overview of what I'm going to be talking about today. Well, I guess first introduce myself. I'm Stephanie King. I'm with Redpath Consulting Group. Just a tiny bit more about Redpath. We've been in this business for 10 years, many Salesforce certifications among our team. We work both locally here in the Twin Cities area and nationally and internationally. We can help with anything relating to Salesforce, as well as marketing automation, as well as strategy discussions around all of those things. And I'll just leave it at that. What I'd like to talk about today is Lightning, and just kind of a little bit about that conversion process, and then jump right over to looking at SyncApps integration, and we'll kind of compare Classic and Lightning. So wherever you're at in your Classic to Lightning journey, we'll have some takeaway for you here today. I'm certain by now that you have heard of Lightning. It is the new Salesforce User Interface. It's been out now for 3 years, I think now. It is simply a user interface. It doesn't change anything about your data model. It doesn't change any of your processes and automation, but it does offer a lot more than you're currently able to do in Classic. What does change is the look and feel of Salesforce. The way your page layouts work, your click paths, and the overall user experience is very updated in Lightning. I have a couple slides that just give a little preview. If you haven't done a lot of work in Lightning, this will just give you a sense of how it looks different. This is a sample homepage in Lightning. There's a lot more flexibility with what you can do on the homepage, where, as you know, in Classic, you're more or less limited to your sidebar, your dashboard preview, tasks, chatter, and a couple of those things. In Lightning, you have probably about 20 standard components that you can play with, as well as really an unlimited number of app exchange components that you can add to your homepage. Here is an example of what an opportunity page might look like in Lightning. The one I'll highlight here is a new Lightning component called the Sales Path. It gives a really nice visual representation and guidance around what you're doing at different stages of your opportunity process. Dashboards are a really excellent upgraded area of Lightning where we can do a whole lot more flexibly with what your dashboards look like. List views have a whole makeover, one of the most popular ones being this Kanban list view where you can drag and drop records from one stage to another. So exciting. So if you haven't made the switch to Lightning yet, you are probably wondering, like, do I have to do this? Should I do this? What does this look like for me? The answer is that Lightning is here to stay, and if you are using Salesforce, you will be converting to Lightning, whether now or later. So do you need to switch right now? You don't. We don't have a sunset date for Classic yet, which means that it's still a couple of years out that Classic will exist. But there are absolutely no developments being done in Classic at this point. As Salesforce has their releases multiple times a year, nothing new is coming in Classic. All new development, all new attention, all new energy is happening in Lightning. So if you're in Classic and you're looking at certain areas and wishing that they might get a little, might get a little love from the development team, some upgrades or improvements, those are just not going to happen in Classic at this point. All the new things, all the new energy is all in Lightning. So it's not just that we're being forced towards Lightning. It really is a really exciting interface. I have just a couple slides comparing a single opportunity record and some different things that we can do with it in Lightning. So this, of course, is the classic view, looking at an opportunity record, where we've got our opportunity details, followed by related lists down here, and then up here we could pop out the chatter feed, right? And pretty much that's what a classic record looks like. We don't have a lot of options there, right? Here's one example of what that very same opportunity could look like in Lightning, where we really highlight where it's at on that sales path with this path component. We can put the details and related lists in click tabs right next to each other. So rather than having to scroll down to look at the related list, I can just look at those in a click tab. And we can put our chatter right here on the side. So if you're actively using chatter, it puts that in kind of a highlighted position a little bit more. I'm just going to pop right over to the next one. Here we have, again, the very same opportunity record with a different Lightning page layout. Again, we have that fun path at the top, but now this time I'm putting details and related lists side by side. So we don't have to scroll at all. We can see all of that information in one screen. And if you'd like to save your users from scrolling, this can be a really nice layout. If you are an organization that knows you need to switch to Lightning but are really averse to change in what your page layouts look and feel like, this page layout really mimics exactly what you have in Classic. We've got the details up top and related lists down below. It's really the same layout. There's a little update to the way it looks, but this would be very little change. I even put the chatter right here at the top that you could pop out. So you get the update and the advantages of Lightning without having to really put your users through much change at all. And finally, we have, again, the very same opportunity record, and I just kind of went wild with this one to show a really different page layout where we're highlighting chatter and activities and some custom components and a report chart. And all in all, this is kind of a wacky page layout, but I just really wanted to blow out some of the creative options that you have available to you. And the point of it all is really flexibility around your business processes and your users' processes, so that the page isn't just one thing and you got to use it. You can really look at what do your users do and what do your different users do if you have different departments or different roles that are using the same records, and you can really optimize those pages for those users. So here I'm just highlighting that piece about flexibility, that pages can be optimized by the object, whether we're talking about accounts, opportunities, etc., by the user, or by the app. This would be a great example for a marketing department versus a sales department versus what have you. They could have different apps that have different views into those records. And this piece here, custom components, this is now a bit out of date. I think there are now well over 200 components on the App Exchange for Lightning, and many of them are free. This is a really exciting time with that. As developers are trying to get in the space, components are just all of the pieces that you can use on a Lightning page layout. So it's just a whole treasure trove of tools that are available to you in Lightning that aren't really usable in Classic at all. Here's just a screenshot of what those components look like in the App Exchange. So that is my little bit about Lightning. I'll exit out of this presentation and pop into my test org here. Okay, so here we are looking at a SyncApps created campaign in Classic. And so what this is part of an integration with Mailchimp, integrating Salesforce to Mailchimp using Cazoomi SyncApps. And what that integration does in this case is when we send an email out of Mailchimp, it then syncs back to Salesforce and creates a campaign with the name of that campaign in Mailchimp as the name of the campaign in Salesforce. Gives it a type of email, which is, of course, correct and useful. And the date that I sent that campaign in Mailchimp will be listed as the start date here in Salesforce. Down here we have the campaign members, which will be all of the people that it was sent to in Mailchimp. So after that activity happens in Mailchimp, it comes back here. It creates the campaign. It creates all of the people as campaign members. And then as that sync runs, whether you have it set to run every 24 hours, or I think it can be as frequently as every 6 hours, I think. But anyway, as that sync runs, we get these stats syncing back to the campaign members showing us, have they opened it? Have they clicked on it? Are there any bounces? And if they are opening and clicking, we have these email events that show us exactly when they're opening it and what they're clicking on. So this is really one of my favorite pieces of the integration, is being able to work with that data, because this is now native Salesforce data that we can report on in a fully integrated way with all of our Salesforce stuff. Up here, I'll just highlight, toot my own horn here. This is a piece of integration that I added myself to this integration, and this is sort of a standard thing that I do with all of my customers who are using Cazoomi SyncApps, is just use some standard Salesforce roll-ups to give us these stats, where at a campaign level, I can quickly look and see what are my total email opens versus unique opens, right? So this tells me that 2 people have opened this email a total of 6 times, so they really like it. And that we have total clicks and unique clicks. Sometimes total clicks will be a bigger number, and we can see total bounces here as well. So this is what it looks like in Classic to see that campaign result, and it's obviously really nice. But since we're talking about Lightning today, I want to definitely show what that looks like in Lightning, so you can kind of see some of the goodies there. So we just switch to Lightning, and I'll find that same campaign now. And here's that very same campaign. So over here are the record details that we were looking at. So here's where you can see my custom roll-ups that I was talking about. And now the campaign members have, this is kind of an out-of-the-box visualization that you get in Lightning, where rather than seeing that list of campaign members on the first page, you instead see this pie chart that is divided up by the member status, and we can hover to see what those are. So we've got, of the 6 people that this email was sent to, 4 have not interacted with it yet. 1 person has opened it, and 1 person has clicked on it. If I do want to see the list view more like what we saw in Classic with all of the member data, we just click on that View All, and now we see with the names, opens, clicks, the very same type of list that we saw in Classic. And in addition to that, I added a custom report chart to this campaign page that gives us a quick view of this campaign performance, where I can see we've got a 17% click rate and a 33% open rate. So whether that's, good, bad, or otherwise for this organization, that'll depend by your organization and what you're sending, but you can do some report charts to help your users just very quickly understand what's going on in a campaign and how it's performing. I can definitely talk more about the integration, but that might be something this might be a good moment to hand it back over to Joanna or take any questions relating to what I've showed.
Sure, Stephanie. Thank you so much for that very detailed discussion on the differences between Classic and Lightning Salesforce editions. So going back to my screen, just quickly show you here. Okay, let me just quickly show you my screen here. Let's change that. Okay, so we're good back now. So how do you integrate your Salesforce CRM with SyncApps? So I have here a very quick video on the integration and how SyncApps help you with your business for your integration. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
Meet John. John owns a fast-growing e-commerce small business. John is having trouble figuring out his integration strategy to connect all of his business software which his company uses today. The average business wastes 2 hours per week on manual data issues between different systems, and John is no exception. Spending time working on integration is taking him away from building and improving his business. Then he discovered SyncApps by Cazoomi. SyncApps makes bidirectional data integration simple. All your business data is synced between apps without hours of data entry or tracking down your colleagues, freeing up John's time to focus on sales efforts, thus driving more revenue down to the bottom line. With SyncApps, John can seamlessly integrate his thriving e-commerce business with his CRM, financials, marketing, support, and other mission-critical applications which support his business daily. He has finally found a solution which can tie together his customer information with his marketing solution for driving sales on his e-commerce website. He is super excited to get started. However, John owns a small business and he was worried about expenses. Luckily, he has discovered that SyncApps are a fraction of the cost of other solutions he tried out, yet have the same robust features, functionality, and come with exceptional customer service. They have unlimited data integration as well, and 24/7 support for all plans, so John can get help whenever he needs it. Integrate the software that runs your business.
So that's how SyncApps basically works in a nutshell. We basically help you save your time by eliminating manual hours of importing and exporting of your data that is more prone to human error. And with SyncApps, we are very proud of our data integrity and our automatically syncing of your data from both of your applications. So what are the SyncApps advantage? Firstly, as the video has shown, we help you save time. So the average business wastes around 2 hours per week, right? and that is more prone on manual human error and any other different issues that might come between different systems. So with SyncApps, we do all of the hard work for you so that you can focus on your sales that drive more into your business. So second, we also sync your data bidirectionally. So as Stephanie said earlier, SyncApps automatically runs the integration on a 24-hour or even in real-time syncing depending on your need. And of course, we let you stay productive. So with SyncApps, if you manually integrate all of your data, you probably wasted around 13 days each year for your manual efforts. So imagine that time and that effort, right? Which you could do other factors that drive your business. So let's take a look at how SyncApps integration works. So firstly, let's say, for example, we have your Salesforce CRM. So with SyncApps, we can sync all of your contacts, your leads, your accounts, and even in some complex applications, we also sync your opportunities and all of those sales driven information. Next, let's say we are syncing to your email marketing automation app, just like Stephanie has demoed earlier, which is Mailchimp. So we can sync all of your Salesforce records into different email marketing lists or groups. If you send out some email campaigns to those groups, we can then sync back all of the campaign responses that you have from your email marketing automation, such as those opens, the clicks, the bounces, and the forwards. It will all be displayed in your CRM account. So with SyncApps, we sync this bidirectionally and seamlessly. So right now, SyncApps already has limitless integration, so you can test out the best of our product. So what are the major SyncApps features? Firstly, we have the filtering and segmentation feature. So let's say you have 1,000 records, but you only need to sync specific criteria, specific records that would meet your criteria. So with SyncApps, we enable that for you. We have that feature, which is our most powerful and most robust feature, to help you customize and filter out your records accordingly and segment them into different lists. Next, we also have the custom field mapping. So aside from the basic and default fields that can be synced, SyncApps is very flexible, and we allow you to enable and map out custom fields between your applications. So again, another major feature we have is real-time syncing. This is very helpful, especially for businesses who run complex information between two applications. So if you need real-time syncing, then SyncApps is definitely the integration platform for you. And of course, we have full sync feature. This feature just basically means that we help you remove your records from one application to the other to have the best and true up-to-date records from both of your applications. So here with SyncApps, we have our top Salesforce integrations. So I have here only a few. I have here the Constant Contact, we have Mailchimp, we also have Act-On, and we even also sync with NetSuite. So if you're running your e-commerce business with the NetSuite, you can sync that with Salesforce via SyncApps. We also have Salesforce and Delivera, and vertical response for email marketing automations, and even One Call Now. And lastly, we also have Eventbrite integration with Salesforce. So with SyncApps, we have over 15 Salesforce integrations available for all of our subscribers. So please be up to date, or please update by next year that many more integrations will be added to our roster, especially for our Salesforce integrations. So here we have the supported Salesforce editions. So firstly, we support it on Developer Edition, also on the Professional Edition, the Enterprise, and the Unlimited. So all of these are on the classic Salesforce editions. But for now, we also offer our Salesforce integration on the Lightning Developer and up until the Lightning Unlimited. That is the newest UI experience with Salesforce. So if you're thinking about integrating your business applications, then SyncApps is definitely the one application for you. So for this webinar, I think we have concluded, and we are now open to any questions that you might have. So please feel free to ask us any question via the chat box, and we will be very happy to help you out. Also, if you have any further questions after this webinar, you can always ask our support team at support@cazoomi.com, and they will be happy to help you out 24/7. So I believe that there are no further questions, but if you do have, please do send us a message at support@cazoomi.com, and we will be happy to help.
I was just going to say, I also I just put my email address in the chat. So if anyone wanted to talk about Lightning and any of how that relates to Cazoomi, I'd be happy to help.
Sure. Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's been our pleasure again that you have graced us for another Walkthrough Wednesdays for the second time around. So thank you so much, Stephanie. And for all of the attendees, if you have any questions with Salesforce, our certified consultant, Stephanie King from Red Path Consulting Group, will be happy to help you out. So thank you so much for your time, Stephanie. We really appreciate it.
Happy to help. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great day, everybody, and we hope to see you again next time.